Businesses can use long-term weather statistics to design buildings, radio towers, and power lines to withstand local winds and snow loads. Long-term weather data can even be used to figure out where to build things like ski resorts. Environment Canada has a special division called the Canadian Climate Program that can help a company figure out what the weather has been like in the past in a specific location and what it might be like in the future. To do that, the Climate Program people gather all kinds of old weather statistics, add current ones, chuck in the figures for long-term trends, apply some complicated formulas, throw the whole shebang in a big supercomputer, and let the number crunching begin. But Environment Canada's new supercomputer is only one of the high-tech tools the Climate Program uses. Satellites are also important, as is the network of connections with weather organizations around the world. Scientific weather predicting is an immensely complex process. It depends on everything from small local airflow patterns to the speed and temperature of ocean currents, along with things like jet streams and even the carbon dioxide level in the atmosphere. Today's 5-day forecasts are about as accurate as the 36-hour ones were back in the 50s. But for anything beyond 5 days, the weatherman isn't a lot more accurate than old Uncle Fred's method of reading the signs of nature. In the next 10 years, though, there's going to be some changes. People will be able to get specific short-term forecasts for their exact location at a precise time, like say between 2 and 3 o'clock tomorrow at Ontario Place in Toronto. One of the new tools is Doppler radar. It uses microwaves to measure how far away a storm cloud is, like regular radar does, but it can also measure wind speed and direction, something old-style radar can't. When the signal from the Doppler radar is run through a computer monitor, weather people get to see the storm in action, and can now even predict tornadoes up to 20 minutes ahead of time. They couldn't at all before. That'll help the local situation, but for global trends, you need satellites. They're already very useful, but add some of the new laser systems, and satellites can suddenly do a lot more. For example, RCA is developing a laser system for satellites that can not only track storm clouds, but measure wind speeds and even temperatures and humidity. It says just measuring the wind speed alone could save airlines hundreds of millions of dollars in fuel a year by showing them where the tailwinds are and helping them avoid strong headwinds. The toughest job of all for weather predictors is the long-range forecast. To do that, meteorologists basically estimate how much the temperature and precipitation are going to vary from what's normal for that season. It takes a lot of number crunching, and even then the scientific monthly forecasts are only about 30% more accurate than the ones that you'll find in the Farmer's Almanac. But over the next 10 years, that margin should improve to about 45%. One of the reasons for this new accuracy is an American program that studies conditions over the tropical oceans, which influence a lot of the world's weather. In a couple of years, satellites will be launched that will have tools to measure the ocean's temperature by its infrared emissions and to measure surface winds by the way light reflects off ocean waves. There will also be altimeters that measure ocean heights to a precision of a few inches. These will help keep track of ocean currents, which stand a few inches higher than surrounding water. This kind of thing will improve long-term predictions a lot, they say. Apparently, by the turn of the century, weather forecasters will be able to predict the weather almost to the hour, a week in advance, and 2-week forecasts will be as accurate as 2-day ones are now. Longer-term predictions won't be quite as good, but certainly better than we get at the moment. Then we'll know just when to plant, when to go to the beach, and when to stay home and read a book. In the meantime, remember, red sky at night, sailors delight, red sky in the morning, sailors take warning. I'm Noel McNaughton.